Australia recently passed a law that prohibits any kid under the age of 16 from accessing social media. Now, the law won't go into effect for at least another year, as that time will be allotted to allowing social media companies to implement measures to keep Australian kids under the age limit off of their platforms. And I have seen a wide array of reactions to this these last few days, ranging from good, kids these days are too attached to their phones and social media, it's time for them to experience life without their eyeballs glued to a phone screen. And then you have other people saying that this law is too draconian. If parents don't want their children to be completely consumed by social media, then they should actually step in and be parents and not allow their kids to be on social media. That should not be the job of the government. This is a perfect example of a nanny state anyway. Where do I stand on this? Honestly, I don't fucking know. I'll start with this. Do I think children and young teens should be on social media? Honestly, no. And this is coming from someone who started making videos on this channel at the age of 13, 10 years ago. 13 is the minimum age requirement to run your own YouTube channel, and honestly, I wouldn't mind if that were to be someday bumped up to age 16 or 18, because adolescence is a crucial period of time in which your sense of self is being formed, and social media completely fucks with that. Your typical insecure teen is going to seek validation in superficial nonsense like how many likes their social media post got, or how many views their TikTok video got. And unfortunately, the internet is a ruthless place with no shortage of assholes who will gladly make disparaging remarks regarding your physical appearance or other attributes about yourself beyond your control. We have countless stories of teenagers self-harming and or taking their own lives, at least in part because of the cruel treatment they received on social media. And I know there are a lot of morons out there who will hear that and say, well, they should have just had a thicker skin. If mean words on the internet impacted them so much to the point where they took their own lives, then good riddance. This isn't a matter of someone being a sensitive snowflake, quote unquote. This is a demographic of people still in their formative years. They don't have an established sense of identity yet, and since they were born into the social media age and social media is now our primary form of communication, they're going to seek validation through that. And the social media game is set up to be addictive. It wants us to be captured by the metrics we receive because we naturally like it when numbers go up. It gives us a little dopamine rush that we want to keep experiencing because it brings us a sense of validation, and this is what so many teens these days base their self-worth around. And that feeling of validation ensures that people will keep coming back and posting on the site. It is a blatantly predatory practice. And I can't pretend I'm above this because here I am on YouTube, a social media site, complaining about this. I've been uploading videos onto this channel for these last 10 years, and I've been honest in the past, and I've said, if these videos had never reached anyone, I would have packed it in years ago. It's a trap that most of the world, regardless of age, has more or less fallen for, but this is especially a problem for children and teenagers. Moving beyond the mental health aspect, I think it's gross how we hook children onto smart devices from such a young age. A lot of parents in this world frankly shouldn't even fucking be parents, because for a lot of them, once the excitement of having a newborn wears off, they realize, oh, I have to tend to the needs of this thing for at least the next 18 years. How do I keep it appeased without actually having to pay attention to it? Oh, I know, I'll just hand them an iPad. And so their dependency on a smart device begins, and they're pretty much raised by whatever they see and interact with on the screen of their smart device. Now look, I of course appreciate the existence of iPhones and smartphones in general, and smart devices in general. And social media has allowed me to have this platform where I can speak my mind on whatever topic pops into my mind, and there will always be about 100 people who come back and listen to what I have to say, and I appreciate that to no end. But I also have to acknowledge that social media is the bedrock to so much rot in our society today. Part of the right-wing media apparatus that has taken social media by storm is taking advantage of the algorithms on these websites and gaming them so that children and teenagers, primarily boys, eventually come across videos by shitheads like Andrew Tate preying upon the insecurities they naturally feel at their age and telling them that the source of their insecurities are women or other marginalized groups of people so that they can instill a chauvinistic and bigoted mindset into these kids at a young age. And with all of that said, should should the government step in and bar kids and teenagers from using social media? Honestly, even after everything I discussed in this video, I still think that is the government overstepping its boundaries. Trust me, if tomorrow every parent in the world who had a kid or kids under the age of 16 decided to not allow them to use social media anymore, and I never had to read another comment or post from some dipshit 14-year-old ever again, I would be more than content. But obviously such a thing is not feasible, so any effective social media ban would have to be on the onus of a government. But what does banning social media for kids and teenagers look like more than likely? Well, since the responsibility of keeping kids off of social media is going to be placed onto the tech companies, that is more than likely going to mean showing these tech companies your government ID to prove your age. Because what's the alternative? Just inputting your date of birth? Because that's worked so well. Oh, you have to be 18 or over to use our site. Okay, I was born January 1st, 1990, even though I'm actually like 15, born in 2009. By the way, can you fucking believe that people born in 2009 are 15 now? Shit. But anyway, there goes another layer of privacy gone and into the hands of tech companies that have shown time and time again they have no issue whatsoever selling off your data to advertisers. Now I understand if you're even just watching this video, you likely already signed your right to privacy away to these tech companies a long time ago. But I still don't like the idea of the government forcing you to strip away even more of your anonymity online in the name of think of the children. But we'll see how this goes, I suppose. If we see the mental health of children and teens in Australia improve substantially over the next few years after this ban goes into effect, I wouldn't be surprised if we begin to see other countries implement something similar to this. I doubt this will ever come to the States, though. Just look at how well radicalizing young men online worked for the GOP this past election. I understand how ruinous social media can be for the youth, and again, I would actually be for an effort to curtail usage of it among kids and teens, if it didn't mean everyone else had to forfeit even more privacy to predatory tech companies. And until such a solution exists, I'm not going to be for any of these laws that prohibit certain age demographics from using certain sites. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Bye-bye.